Hello, everyone. Let me start with a simple question. Have you ever said something in anger that you later wished you could take back? Have you ever felt overwhelmed, stressed, or misunderstood, even when things in your life looked fine on the outside? If your answer is yes, then you've already experienced the power of emotions in your life. For a long time, society told us that success depends mainly on intelligence, IQ, good grades, strong logic, technical skills. But today, psychologists, leaders, educators, and even employers agree on something important. Your ability to understand and manage emotions, your own and others, often matters more than raw intelligence. That ability is called emotional intelligence. Today, we will explore what emotional intelligence really is, why it matters in daily life, how people struggle with it every day, examples from well-known people, lessons from famous books, practical ways we can develop emotional intelligence. 1. What is emotional intelligence? The term emotional intelligence, often called EQ, became widely known through psychologist Daniel Goleman, author of the best-selling book Emotional Intelligence, 1995. Daniel Goleman defines emotional intelligence as the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and influence emotions, both your own and the emotions of others. In simple words, emotional intelligence is being smart with emotions. Goleman breaks emotional intelligence into 5 core components. 1. Self-awareness. This means recognizing your own emotions as they happen. For example, knowing when you're stressed, realizing when your anger is actually fear, understanding your strengths and weaknesses. A self-aware person might say, "I'm not angry at you. I'm overwhelmed and tired." 2. Self-regulation. This is the ability to control impulses and emotional reactions. It doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means choosing how to respond instead of reacting automatically. For example, pausing before sending an angry message, taking a breath instead of shouting, staying calm under pressure. 3. Motivation. Emotionally intelligent people are driven by internal values, not just money or status. They persist through challenges, learn from failure, stay focused on long-term goals. 4. Empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and feel what others are experiencing. It's not sympathy. It's putting yourself in someone else's emotional position. Empathy allows us to build strong relationships, communicate better, reduce conflict. 5. Social skills. These are the skills that help us manage relationships effectively. Active listening, clear communication, conflict resolution, leadership. Together, these 5 elements form emotional intelligence. 2. Why emotional intelligence matters more than ever. We live in a fast, demanding, emotionally intense world. Constant notifications, social media comparisons, workplace pressure, family responsibilities, global uncertainty. Many people are emotionally exhausted. Research consistently shows high EQ predicts better mental health. High EQ leads to stronger relationships. High EQ improves leadership and teamwork. High EQ often matters more than IQ for long-term success. Daniel Goleman famously said, "IQ gets you hired, emotional intelligence gets you promoted." In schools, workplaces, families, and friendships, emotions are always present. Ignoring them doesn't make them disappear. It makes them explode. 3. How people face emotional challenges daily. Let's talk about how emotional intelligence, or the lack of it, shows up in everyday life. At work, a manager lashes out under stress. A team member feels unheard. Conflicts escalate because no one listens. Often, it's not about skills. It's about emotions being unmanaged. In relationships, couples argue about small issues that hide deeper feelings. People avoid difficult conversations. Misunderstandings turn into resentment. As psychologist John Gottman explains in the 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work, it's not conflict that destroys relationships, it's how we handle emotions during conflict. With ourselves. Many people struggle internally. Overthinking, self-doubt, anxiety, burnout. They don't lack intelligence. They lack emotional awareness and emotional tools. 4. Examples of well-known people with high emotional intelligence. Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. When he was released, he faced a nation divided by anger and injustice. Instead of revenge, Mandela chose emotional restraint, empathy, and forgiveness. He understood that anger might feel justified, but it would destroy the future. That is emotional intelligence at the highest level. Self-regulation, empathy, vision beyond personal pain. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah grew up in poverty and experienced trauma. Instead of being defined by it, she developed deep emotional awareness. Her success came not just from intelligence, but from listening deeply, connecting emotionally with others, creating safe spaces for vulnerability. Oprah once said, "Turn your wounds into wisdom." That is emotional intelligence in action. Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. When Satya Nadella became CEO, Microsoft was struggling with internal competition and ego. He shifted the culture toward empathy, growth mindset, collaboration. He openly credits empathy as a leadership strength. Under his emotionally intelligent leadership, Microsoft transformed. 5 lessons from well-known books. Emotional Intelligence, Daniel Goleman. This book introduced the world to the idea that emotions shape success. Key lesson: being emotionally intelligent is learned, not fixed. Mindset, Carol Dweck. Dweck explains how people with a growth mindset view failure as feedback, manage emotions around mistakes, stay motivated. Emotional intelligence helps us stay open instead of defensive. The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. This book emphasizes emotional awareness and presence. Tolle explains that many emotional reactions come from unconscious patterns. Awareness creates freedom. 6. How can people develop emotional intelligence? The good news is, emotional intelligence can be developed at any age. 1. Practice self-awareness. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? What triggered this emotion? Journaling, reflection, or mindfulness can help. 2. Pause before reacting. Create a small gap between emotion and action. Even a deep breath can prevent regret. 3. Name emotions accurately. Instead of saying I'm angry, ask, am I hurt, afraid, disappointed? Naming emotions reduces their intensity. 4. Develop empathy. Listen to understand, not to reply. Ask, how does this person feel? What might they be dealing with? 5. Learn from feedback. Emotionally intelligent people don't see feedback as an attack. They see it as information. 6. Manage stress intentionally. Sleep, exercise, boundaries, and rest are emotional skills, not luxuries. In the end, emotional intelligence is not about being calm all the time. It's not about being perfect. It's about understanding yourself, respecting others, choosing growth over reaction. We will all face anger. We will all face fear. We will all face disappointment. But emotionally intelligent people don't let emotions control their lives. They work with emotions, not against them. As Daniel Goleman reminds us, if your emotional abilities aren't in hand, if you don't have self-awareness, if you are not able to manage your distressing emotions, then no matter how smart you are not going to get very far. Emotional intelligence is not just a skill. It is a lifelong practice, and it is one of the most powerful tools we have to build better lives, better relationships, and a better world. Thank you.